wasn't drafted. He wasn't supposed to make the roster. Truth be told, some people didn't even think he'd survive training camp. But in a single preseason game, Shiloh Sanders flipped the script, turning from long shot to the only name fans could talk about. And the crazy part? The guy he outshined wasn't just any rookie, it was Cam Ward, the #1 overall pick. The golden-armed quarterback everyone was certain would own the headlines. Ward had the cameras, the hype, the dream debut. Yet somehow, the story wasn't about him. Why? Because in the NFL, spotlight isn't just earned by talent, it's stolen by impact. And in one night, an undrafted underdog made the entire football world stop, watch, and ask, "Did we get this all wrong?" Cam Ward entered the league like a movie star walking into his own premiere. Cameras flashing, fans screaming, every step scripted for success. First overall pick, franchise savior. The guy whose jersey sells out before he even throws a pass. Shiloh Sanders? No cameras. No draft day handshake. No headlines. He slipped into the NFL through the side door, an undrafted rookie fighting for a locker. On paper, these two were living in different worlds. One had the spotlight handed to him. The other had to wrestle his way into the frame. But then came the game, and the NFL has a funny way of rewriting stories. Ward did exactly what people expected. Solid throws, clean mechanics, a debut good enough to nod at, but not enough to cheer for. He checked the box and walked off. Shiloh? He didn't just check a box, he ripped it off the page. Every snap was an audition, every collision a statement. By the time the whistle blew, the cameras that started on Ward had shifted. The crowd wasn't asking about the #1 pick anymore. They were asking, who is this Sanders kid? For most undrafted players, preseason snaps are quiet. You run your assignment, avoid mistakes, and hope the coaches remember your name when cuts come around. But Shiloh Sanders? He didn't just stay on the field, he took over the screen. It started with a single play that felt like it belonged in a highlight reel. Lined up like nothing special, he crept forward, disguised the blitz perfectly, and then boom, exploded into the backfield. One clean, vicious hit on the quarterback, forcing a rushed throw. No penalty, no hesitation. Just pure textbook execution. But it wasn't just one flash of brilliance. Shiloh was everywhere. Deep safety one snap, in the box the next, blitzing off the edge, dropping into coverage like he'd been in the league for years. The same instinct scouts questioned? They were on full display. Every time the ball moved, he was in striking distance. And the thing that really got people talking, he looked comfortable, calm, like he belonged there all along. No wide eyes, no panic, just a player proving that pedigree might get you in the door, but grit and preparation are what keep you inside. Cam Ward's NFL debut wasn't bad, let's get that straight. 5 completions on 8 attempts, 67 yards, no turnovers. A passer rating just shy of 100. That's the kind of clean stat line most rookies would frame. But Ward isn't most rookies. He's the #1 overall pick, the quarterback with the cannon arm, the endless highlight tape, and a fan base ready to crown him the future. For him, fine isn't enough. He showed flashes of what made him that top pick quick release. A sidearm whip that defies mechanics, zipping balls into tight windows like it was nothing. He connected with veteran targets, looked relaxed in the pocket, and proved his arm talent is every bit as advertised. But under the surface there were cracks, a risky throw into coverage that should have been picked, a few slow reads that stalled momentum. Little moments that don't matter much now, but in the world of top pick expectations, they're amplified under a microscope. And that's the thing about being chosen first. You don't get judged like everyone else. Cam Ward played well, but compared to the hype machine that brought him here, felt almost disappointing. Pressure in the NFL wears 2 different faces. For Cam Ward, it's the kind that comes with a cushion. He can miss a read, throw a bad ball, even lose a preseason game, and he'll still get another series, another week, another season. When you're a top pick, the investment in you buys time. Coaches expect growing pains. Fans will forgive mistakes, at least early. The media will call it development. Shiloh Sanders doesn't have that luxury. For him, every snap is a job interview. One missed tackle, one blown coverage, one moment of hesitation, and it could be over. Cut. Forgotten. Replaced by the next undrafted hopeful. There's no safety net, no grace period, no "we'll see how he looks next year." His entire future hangs on minutes of preseason football. That's the brutal truth about this league. It's not just about who's under the brightest spotlight, it's about who's standing on the thinnest ledge. Cam Ward is managing expectations. Shiloh Sanders is surviving elimination. And right now, survival looks a lot more intense than comfort. Consistency isn't flashy. It doesn't always make the highlight reel or trend on social media. But in the NFL, it's the difference between lasting a month and lasting a decade. And in his first real shot under the lights, Shiloh Sanders showed something every coach quietly loves. He didn't just pop once and disappear. He kept showing up, game after game, snap after snap. He made the kind of steady, reliable plays that stack up in a coach's mind. One series, he's lined up deep, covering ground like a center fielder. The next, he's in the box, filling a run gap before the back can blink. Then he's off the edge again, blitzing with perfect timing. You could plug him anywhere and he just fit. No confusion, no blown assignments, no rookie mistakes that burn film sessions the next morning. And here's the thing, this wasn't just about physical ability. Shiloh played with poise. He never looked lost. He wasn't rushing decisions or trying to overcompensate with reckless hits. Instead, he moved like someone who had been here before, even though everyone in that stadium knew he hadn't. That's a rare trait for any rookie, but for an undrafted one, it's gold. Because coaches notice the guys who make their jobs easier. The ones they can trust to be in the right spot, to read the right key, to stay calm when the game speeds up. Shiloh was becoming that guy. Head coach Todd Bowles even admitted as much after the game. He's coming along. He's got a good chance to make it, he told reporters. That's not coach speak for good job, kid. That's a public acknowledgement that this isn't just a camp body, they see real potential here. And when a coach goes out of his way to say that about an undrafted rookie, it means the door isn't just cracked open, it's starting to swing wide. But Shiloh's momentum isn't just coming from what happens between the whistles. Off the field, he's winning just as much. Fans are connecting with him because he plays with heart, because they can see the fight in every snap. He's engaging with teammates, learning from veterans, and embracing Tampa like he's been here his whole life. That matters. NFL teams don't just draft or sign talent, they build locker rooms. And a player who lifts the energy of the room while delivering on the field? That's value you can't measure with stats. Every training camp has a few surprise stories, but most fade when the preseason ends. Shiloh is making it harder to put his name in that category, because it's not just one standout performance, it's a string of them. It's consistency, it's character. It's the feeling that if you give him more time, he'll only get better. And here's the twist, every time Shiloh proves he belongs, the pressure actually increases. Not because he's fighting for recognition anymore, but because he's inching closer to the thing every undrafted player dreams of, a permanent roster spot. That's when the stakes go from making plays to keeping your job. And in the NFL, that climb never stops. Shiloh's not just surviving preseason, he's building a case, brick by brick, for why he should have been here all along. And the more you watch him, the more you start to believe that maybe the league overlooked him not because he wasn't good enough, but because they just weren't looking closely enough. The NFL loves to say it's a meritocracy, that the best players rise no matter where they come from. It's a nice idea. It's also not entirely true. The reality is that this league is built on investment. Teams pour millions into their top picks, so those players get more chances, more patience, and more trust. That's not necessarily unfair, it's business. But it means the playing field is never truly level. Cam Ward is living that reality. As the #1 pick, his path is wide open. Even if he struggles, he'll keep getting reps. Even if he throws a few bad interceptions, the narrative will be that he's learning the game. The franchise has already committed to him. They have to give him time. Shiloh Sanders? He's in the exact opposite position. Every practice rep is a test. Every preseason snap is a judgment. One misstep, and it's over. There's another hungry player waiting behind him. And unlike Ward, there's no guaranteed second chance. The NFL doesn't invest heavily in undrafted rookies, so they don't mind moving on quickly. That's what makes Shiloh's rise so impressive. He's not just playing well, he's breaking through a system that's built to overlook him. He's forcing coaches, media, and even fans to pay attention. And in a league where hype often outweighs production, that's harder than it looks. Football will always have its chosen ones, the prototypes with perfect measurables, high draft status, and clean marketing packages. But the game also thrives on fighters. The ones who come in through the side door take the smallest opportunity and turn it into something bigger. Those players are rare, and when they start making noise, they shake up the whole picture. The question now is simple. When the preseason dust settles, which story will win? Will it be the franchise quarterback who's expected to succeed? Or the underdog who's making people rethink what success even looks like? Shiloh Sanders wasn't supposed to be here. No draft call, no rookie spotlight, no franchise banking its future on his name. Just a shot, and even that came with an expiration date. Yet, in a matter of weeks, he's gone from camp body to genuine contender, forcing the league to look twice. Cam Ward? He was supposed to own the moment the second he stepped onto the field. And to be fair, he's done well showing the arm talent, the poise, and the skill set that made him the #1 pick. But that's also his trap, because when you're expected to win, anything less than greatness feels like a disappointment. The contrast couldn't be sharper. One is walking a red carpet lined with opportunity. The other is balancing on a tightrope with no net. And yet, both are carrying a different kind of pressure. Ward to justify the hype, Sanders to keep proving he belongs. And maybe that's why this preseason has been so fascinating. It's not just about two rookies at different ends of the spotlight. It's about how quickly the NFL can flip the script, how hype can fade, and how grit can rise. So now it's your turn if you had to bet on one. Who are you taking? The golden-armed gunslinger with the perfect draft pedigree, or the underdog safety playing every down like it's his last? And if you're rooting for both, well, we can't blame you.